Hello, hello, hello. Hello, welcome to our Tuesdays. Have you ever been in a situation where you're trying to get yourself together? Or you just, you like maybe came out of something or you're climbing out of a rough situation and you just don't know what to do. It can be very exhausting when you find yourself in situations and it's hard to get out of them. It's hard to walk a certain way, to talk a certain way. You have friends, you have people in your ear all the time. Well, today, we're going to talk about 6 things that can help you strengthen, build your strength, and keep your mind fit so that you're able to make the right decisions and to do the things that you want to do, right? I am Sharonda Lynn. I am a pastor, a digital specialist, and a businesswoman. I help breakers. I help glass breakers, people who see the opposition but are determined at any cost to break through. And I help those people create the lives they deserve to live. So I want to welcome you today to She Is Still Dope TV. Please share this, like this, share this. We are on Facebook and YouTube, but we really want to expand and help as many people as we can with our broadcast. So please like and share. Commonly today, we are going to talk about how to be resilient. Last week, we talked about being in an abusive situation and actually identifying what that might look at. Today, we're going to talk about how to be resilient, tough, and just plain resolute when it comes to our business, our homes, and our families, our faith, and even in our communities. How can we just be tough and resilient and not break down and stay down? But we want to be the ones that get up, stand up. Mistakes are going to come. You're going to make a mistake. You're going to be the person that said, I would never get myself in this situation. And then you find yourself in an odd situation. You might be that person. But if you are, you don't have to stay there. I said this last week. I'll say it again. The saying is, you make your bed and you lie in it. But I promise you, you do not have to stay there. The Bible says, be anxious for nothing, but in prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, right, will guard your heart and minds through Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:6-7, one of my favorite scriptures. Be anxious for nothing. Every time I feel afraid, I say this to myself, be anxious for nothing. You have to remind yourself sometimes with a strong word that you are meant for more than what the fear is trying to make you believe, or what the circumstance looks like, right? You have to be anxious for nothing, but in everything, prayer, supplication with thanksgiving. So last week we talked about abuse, right? We talked about how you can be in abusive situation, how some of the things that would actually qualify as somebody playing with you. Please go back and look at that video. Somebody playing with you, somebody who's not taking you seriously. And abuse is a behavior that keeps on giving. It keeps going, and it keeps going. But I want to talk to you today, not about abuse, because we talked about last week how to physically get out of that. But we want to talk about something else. Last week, we talked about abuse, which physically and mentally comes for your life, health, and your strength. But what about things like grief, trauma, neglect, loneliness, stress, self-criticism, and lack of purpose? All of these things make it difficult and will try to dismantle your peace and sanity. It's not all external either. And we learn this because self-criticism, we do this all the time, right? We're critical of ourselves. Not only are we critical of others, but we are really critical of ourselves. And when we're critical of ourselves, we don't necessarily, we don't necessarily I'm thinking of something else. I just lost my train of thought. Oh my gosh. When we're critical of others, we don't necessarily realize that we also become critical of ourselves. So I just want to go over that. There are many things that will dismantle our peace and our sanity. It's not all external. It really isn't. And little by little, we began to have a new understanding for Philippians 4:6 and 7. Be anxious for nothing. When we go through something, it's like building us up. It's building our mental up to it's building our mental up to be able to accept our next level. After you've gone through, the work is not over. We have to rebuild, replenish, and regrow. One thing we don't want to do ever is quit. So let's go over these 6 things I want to share with you today that will refocus you and strengthen your mind. Number 1, focus on one thing. Focus on 1 or 2 things tops and expand your mental expend your mental energy wisely. Focus on 1 or 2 things. Listen, you don't have to always multitask. And when you do, it's not an award if you're able to multitask. Sometimes you multitask too much. Too much. Don't multitask so much. Learn to say no. When you are building yourself back up, give yourself the time and the energy to heal and to be placed in the right spot, to get in your right place so that you can be more effective. It does you no good when you are trying to juggle 150 million gazillion things. You know how I know? I do it all the time. I have to step back sometimes and look at everything I have. I have a cousin that checks me all the time. She says, Sharonda, you're doing so much stuff, blah, blah, blah. And we go through it and she tells me, I'm overextended. Now, here's the biggest thing. When you are a multitasker, you don't really realize that you are overextending yourself because it's what you do. It's who we are. And we have to learn to pull back because you don't just want to be a busy bee or just do stuff to just do stuff. You definitely want to be able to handle it, complete, and execute with professionalism, right? We want to make sure that you, number 1, are focusing on 1 or 2 things, and you are not tiring yourself out with all that you are doing. Number 2, this is number 2, take a mindfulness break and shift negative to positive, acknowledging your emotions. Take a mindfulness break. Shift negative to positive. That means if you find yourself in a space that everything is coming at you, you feel like you're being beat down, you feel very negative, you feel that things are so difficult and tough for you, and you start saying, I can't, that can't word shows up. I haven't ever, all the negative things show up. You've got to be able to turn that into a positive thing. And you want to control your emotion, because if you don't control your emotions, they will have you all over the place. Remember, mindfulness, if you take 1 week of brief daily mindfulness meditation, 1 week of brief daily mindfulness meditation, it has been found that when you do that, it will produce significant improvements to your attention, your energy, and your stress. It improves it. I've said this before, and I'm the girl with the app. There are apps that can help you be more mindful. There are apps that can help you in this area so that you can have a renewed energy, your stress level will decrease, and your attention span will grow. Here are some of the free apps these are free apps for mindfulness. Inner Insight Timer. Insight Timer. The second one is Smiling Mind. The third one is My Life Meditation. My Life, all one word, meditation. And the fourth one is UCLA Mindful. The fifth one is Healthy Minds Program. Now, again, these are apps that will help you with mindfulness, because we always want to add some tech in there because tech is for our good. All of these apps are good for iOS and Android. And I'm going to say them one more time. Insight Timer, Smiling Mind, My Life Meditation, UCLA Mindful, Healthy Minds Program. All of those are for iOS and Android, and excellent for mindfulness, making sure that you are taking the time to think about yourself, think about where you are, think about your goals, think about your visions. Take a time. Are you on track? That's what mindfulness does. Cleanses your mind and helps you refocus. So remember, today we're talking about building our mental health. So if this is blessing you, please like and share so that we can get the word out to everyone. Number 3 in our talk today about building internal strength. Number 3 is carve out time for self-care and awareness. Hi, Miss Janira. Carve out time for self-care and awareness. Set limits and make a power stance. That's number 4. But let's back up to number 3. Carve out time for self-care and self-awareness. How many times do we run through life and forget about ourselves? And forget about who we are. We forget about that we have to think of ourselves. This is where I tell people that being selfish is not bad. In this instance, if you don't think about yourself, I'm telling you, you'll just run on and run on. If you are waiting for someone else to think about you, that's not going to happen, because most people are going to think about themselves. And then when you start to look bad, that's when somebody is going to say, wait a minute, are you taking care of yourself? If they're in your life, they're going to say, wait a minute, what are you doing for yourself? It's imperative that we plan for self-care and self-awareness, to build ourselves back up, to allow ourselves to be stronger and more powerful as the human beings that we are. Take time today. Well, not today. In the future, my thing is I want eyelashes, right? So my part of my self-care is going to be getting some eyelashes on me. Not just some the stick-on ones that only I can do, but I want some eyelashes, the individual ones put on, because that's going to help me. That's going to make me feel good about myself. My self-awareness goes up when I look good. And people often want to come against people who wear makeup, or they want to make themselves look pretty, whatever it is. Baby, do you. Look good for you, not for anybody else. I know some of us have husbands, some of us have boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever you have, whoever's listening, you have to exercise your right to take care of yourself. That could be a pedicure, manicure, that could be eyelashes, get your hair done, get a sew-in, get a weave, do whatever it is that is going to make you happy. Give yourself permission. Give yourself permission. Often when I'm running fast and I'm going out with my friends and they're out there not partying, but they're out there getting getting their nails done, I'm looking at them and I'm saying, oh, you're getting your nails done great. Oh, you're getting your hair done fantastic. But you know what I'm not doing? A lot of times I'm not looking back at Sharonda and saying, hey, this is in the past. Hey, Sharonda, what's going on with you? Have you taken care of yourself? Because I run this race. I serve people. I pastor. I have a business. I have to take out time for me. You need to take out time for you. Number 4, set limits and make a power stance. This is the funniest thing, right? When I say make a power stance is actually what that sounds like. You stand up, you stand tall, you poke out your chest and you put your hands out like this on your hips, or you reach them straight up in the air like you have just achieved every goal, and you stay that way for up to 2 minutes. Let me tell you something. When you do that, it increases your feeling of feeling powerful. It increases it in your mind. People tell us to do that when we have to go and maybe do an interview, or you are facing something and you've got to be powerful. Maybe you're giving a speech. Maybe you have to go counsel someone and you're not feeling as strong as you are. We're talking about building strength. Just doing that, standing up tall, putting your hands on your hip, doing your power stance for up to 2 minutes is going to increase your confidence in yourself, right? The other part of that is you have to set limits as well. Save yourself from burnout. When your power stance is going to empower you, but you also want to save yourself from burnout by setting boundaries and keeping the boundaries. Your no is no and your yes is yes. You know what you can handle. You know what you cannot handle. And oftentimes it's okay to back up when you have taken or overextended yourself. So remember that you want to set limits. And you want to make that power stance. Be strong. Be superwoman, Superman for about 2 minutes. And I'm telling you, after that, you'll feel like you can go out and conquer the world. The number 5 thing that I want to talk out of our 6 things is set aside time to move. Set aside time to move. What do I mean by that? Exercise. Set aside time to move. You see this watch? I don't know if y'all can see it. One of the things, I got this smartwatch. One of the things I got it for is that it regulates me. It's like my mom. It's like my mom or somebody like that that's actually going to tell me what to do, where to go, how to be. And when I am sitting too long, this watch tells me to stand up and move. You have to be active. You have to do some type of exercise. Now, everybody's body is not the same way. You can get up and walk around. You can get up and stretch. That's giving your body some movement. That's giving your mind some time to realign. Exercise is not right for everybody in certain ways. Like for me, I have a metabolic disorder. And in that metabolic disorder, if I exercise too rigorously, I won't lose weight. If I exercise too rigorously, I'll actually get bigger instead of getting smaller. So I can do walks, I can do light exercise. Everybody's exercise isn't for everybody. You have to make the decision to exercise, number 1, and then you have to see what's best for your body. I can't get out there and do CrossFit. Y'all will be laughing because I will fall. You have your camera watch. If I go out there and do CrossFit, make sure you do it live so they can see me fall. But listen, exercise clears your mind and it produces endorphins. Endorphins are those little people in our bodies. I say little people because I always think of stuff in character form. But endorphins are those things that make us feel better. So when you exercise, your endorphins are raised, they're increased, and you just feel better. Are you feeling depressed? You're feeling down about yourself. You don't know which way to go or what to do. Guess what? Exercise. It'll bring you up. You might not like that. Your exercise could be walking around the block. It'll help you clear your mind and get back on track. Last but not least, number 6, you have to ask for help. Ask for help. When you need help, ask for it. Why is that so hard for you or for me? Why is that so hard for us? When we get to a place, I know when I'm in a job and I'm in my career, right? I find that it's really hard for me to ask for help. I came up in a genre that if you asked for help, it was looked at that you didn't know what you were doing. They started looking at your job as you couldn't fulfill it. If you asked for help, I didn't care. It didn't matter what kind of help you tried to ask for. If you asked for help, these folks were looking at you like, you can't do anything. But today, I'm telling you, there is no wrong time to seek help. There's no wrong time to seek help. Talking with others help you gain insight on yourself and how you're beneficial. Let me tell you how this worked out for me today. Today, I talked to my cousin, my sister cousin. I haven't talked to her in a while. We've both been doing things. We've had to step back, and it's okay to step back. Remember, set time, set boundaries, set limits. We both had to step back for a little while, and we talked today for hours. And today, I was able to help her and she was able to help me. We were talking with each other about our strengths. And as we were talking, she said some things in the conversation that's going to be beneficial for me. That's helping me shape even my prayer life. Remember, what did she tell me today? I'm going to tell you what she told me. She said, pray for God to put it together for me. How many times do we remember exactly what to pray for? And one of the things that you don't necessarily always pray for is for God to put it together. We pray for God to touch our stuff, touch our relationships, do this, do that. But not all the time do I say, God, please put it together for me. And that's what talking with someone else will do for you, right? Talking with someone else will connect the dots that you need connected. So please remember, ask for help. So we're going to go back over real quickly the 5 things that you can do to strengthen your mind when you're coming out of a situation or you're feeling a little foggy. These are the things that you can do in your life to be mentally strong. Number 1, focus on 1 or 2 things. You don't have to be Mr. or Mrs. Multitasker and expend. Use your mental energy wisely. Number 2, hi, Miss Mildred, you want to take a mindfulness break and shift negative thoughts to positive thoughts and acknowledge your emotions in that moment. If you're feeling angry, if you're feeling upset, if you're feeling defeated, whatever it is, check yourself. It's okay to feel angry. It is okay to feel those emotions, but take a mindfulness break so you can reset and go forward. Number 3, carve out time for self-care and self-awareness. You need to know where you are, what you're doing, how you're feeling. Are you getting your hair done? Are you taking care of self? Do you need a massage? Somebody right now needs to go out and get a massage. Not me, because I hate massages, but they're not for everybody. But if you need one, I have a friend. She made sure that that's part of her self-care. She helps people. She helps the homeless. She helps all kinds of people every day. And her self-care is a massage. And she is faithful at going, which is good for her because she never did it before. Number 4, set limits and make your power stance. Get in front of the mirror, honey. Stand up, put your hands on your hips, and you stand there for up to 2 minutes, just like this. Still, just your power stance. You are about to take on the world. You're about to do that business. You're about to do that ministry. You're about to go out there and evangelize. You're about to go out there and help some folk. You get in that power stance and you will feel better than you have in a long time. Number 5, set aside time to move. Remember, exercise is key. It clears your mind and it makes you happy. When we start to think about exercise making us happy, we might exercise more. And number 6, Please, if you need help, ask for help. There is never a wrong time to seek out help. There's never a wrong time. So listen, that's all I have for you today. I love you guys. Please like and share this. If this is blessing you, please like and share this. And hey, I'll meet you next week at 7 o'clock. I had an appointment today that actually canceled, but that's why we had to shift to 7:30. But I will see you at 7 o'clock, same time, same channel. Again, I am Sharonda Lynn, and it was a blessing to be with you today. Take care.